So maybe the nun would like to ask something first, like to give her out of respect. Yeah. Your question? What would you like to ask about? You look very bright, he says. So whatever you like to know, feel free to ask. Yeah.
I'm mostly interested in hearing your teachings, Venerable.
What do you practice right now, and what do you feel are your obstacles right now, or with what do you have a problem, or what do you practice? Are there any obstacles?
I've had a lot of health concerns in the last couple of years, which has made my practice difficult. A lot of bodily and mental difficulties as well. But my main practice since I started meditation has been observing the body and the breath in a natural way and developing anicca sanya, anatta sanya. And
very good, very good.
So how about your reflections about anicca and anatta? How clear is it? How clearly do you see like the anicca and anatta?
Clear enough to notice the grasping and the clinging.
Very good, very good.
When you reflect on the body, do you separate the parts, or like do you the 32 parts, and do you do that or not?
Not as an active practice.
Yes.
Mostly just, just the whatever I'm experiencing at that moment is where I try to keep my attention.
So bodily sensations, you mean?
Yeah, body and breath.
And body and breath and your posture and how about the mind and the Dhamma, like Chittanupassana and Dhammanupassana? How about those two areas? How clear are you about those?
Everything kind of gets interwoven into my practice. So when I notice aspects of the mind and I become aware of it, then I work with that, or I mostly work with how that affects me in my body.
So Luangta recommends you to, when you contemplate about the body, like to also separate it into parts and then see like the anatta nature of it, that there is no person, it is just like material, like formed together and parts formed together, and let it like when you contemplate about it, also like disintegrate it into its elements, like it comes from nature and it goes back to nature eventually. So see that this body is part of nature and there's no self in it, no owner, it's ownerless. And so he recommends you to go a little bit more in detail, like he recommends you to contemplate about the body, like he sees there's still some, maybe you know the Pali word Kamashanta, so that's why he recommends like to go more in depth, more in detail, and not just like the movements and some coarse feelings, but like really contemplate about all these parts, see like really thoroughly the anatta nature in it, and that it's so that's the what is behind his recommendation.
Okay,
you can understand. Yeah. Do you have any other question or any other things you would like to ask about, or something more specific, or
maybe where actually no, I know this will come, but in the meantime, how can I allow some joy and lightness to arise in the midst of the heaviness and the dukkha, basically?
So he recommends you to contemplate about the body and see like really the anatta nature in it, the selfless nature, the ownerless nature, that is just nature. And so when you do that, your mind will calm down. And once your mind is calm, you will notice much clearer the inner chatter, like this constant inner thinking and analyzing and worrying and all these mental phenomena, like the phenomena of the mind and the Dhamma. And then you will notice also, even in the midst of all these phenomena, all these mental phenomena, there is like some peace to be found like in the midst of it. But like first, to calm down a bit, and then you will notice like what's going on in your mind, and then you will see like also these things which go on in the mind are also selfless, also ownerless, not belong to anyone, and then you will find like peace in the midst of chaos, like and these phenomena they won't stop, but you won't make a thing out of it anymore and try to suppress it or pull or whatever. Yeah.
So more paying attention to the peace. Is that
like first contemplate the body, in order like to reduce attachment to it, and once you contemplate it, once the mind calms down, then you will see the mind movements, like the thinking, worrying, all these more subtle phenomena. Because the body is very coarse, and then the very mental subtle phenomena, like the worrying and anxiety and this and that and attachments and so on. So, and then you will also see these things are also ownerless. They arise by themselves, they disappear by themselves, and more and more you lose also attachment to that. And if you then lose also attachment to that, you will experience again another peace, like a deeper level of peace. Like a peace which is empty of a self, of self-centeredness, self-identification. Yeah. So it's not like focusing on the peace, because that will lead towards tension. Like what you have to understand, whenever you contact something, there's like the memory will arise what you contact, and then a feeling tone will arise, and then also some contemplation, like you will comment it in your mind. Oh, this is that, and I like it, I don't like it, and all. Like whenever you contact something, there's a reaction. And this is very normal. And so Luangta said, you have to see that the consciousness which is aware of contact and as well the reaction and the contact are two different things. Like awareness and what you're aware of, these are two different things. So, and you have to practice just like to see it as it is, without trying to suppress it, without trying to manage it, to fix it, to push or pull or do anything about what you perceive. Just see it as it is, like in the Bahia Sutta, maybe, just like seeing is seeing, feeling is feeling, and not add anything more to it, not make anything more out of it, and not, just leave it as it is, let it be, let it go, just whatever arises in the mind, whatever reaction arises, just let it be, let it go, let it be, let it go. And in that way, the mind will be more and more equanimous, more and more calms down, and that's the peace, what he was talking about. But important is not focus on the peace, not focus on the peace, because otherwise you get attached again to that peace or identify with that peace. So that's just like the natural peace. But so you have to understand, like, consciousness and what you're conscious of are two different things. And see that consciousness doesn't come and go, doesn't change. It's also ownerless as well, what you contact. But what you contact is constantly changing, arising and passing constantly. And both have no owner. And just like let nature be as it is. Like both is part of nature, it's not yours. You can't take ownership of it. You not need to change it. You not make it better or worse or do anything about it. You only want to learn about nature. You not want to change nature. So that was like the meaning behind, like, first loosen your attachment a little bit to the body, and then you will see like all these mental reactions which you usually have towards like your pain and all these things, and then you will see more and more the nature, and just then let go also of that, loosen attachment to that. Usually meditators do one big mistake, like they focus at what they experience and try to make it peaceful and calm. Like they practice with like defilements, like with craving. They want like to have a certain experience. Like they actually practice from a self to benefit the self, to have more peace, more this, more that. So, but this kind of practice is focus practice and controlling practice and suppressing practice. It will lead only to more suffering. It will lead like to headaches and tension and a lot of bodily problems. It makes actually things worse. This is like one big mistake which meditators often do. So the phenomena in your mind, they are part of nature, and there's nothing wrong actually with them. And they will be there until you die. So we not try to suppress those phenomena or change those phenomena, but see them as they are and let them be, let them go. Like not get lost in them, and also not try to suppress or change or manage them, but see them as they are and just let them come and go, and don't do anything about it. So suppose you can't endure all those inner chatter and inner turbulence, like the mind always commenting, the mind always saying, do this, do that, I want this, I want that. So suppose you can't endure that chaos in the mind, and just see it as it is and let it be, let it go, then you can like use a meditation object, like for example reciting like Buddha, just like to have something, an anchor, something you can hold on in order not to start to manage and fix and your experience, not like to like do what he said before, which is wrong, which leads like to more suffering.
My practice was supposed to be exactly as described, but I guess somewhere in the last couple of years, I guess the self got in the way and started getting out of control and leading to what I almost recognize as more development of more clinging and more grasping. So that's kind of where I'm at now.
So Luangta sees actually your practice is pretty well. It's just like some subtle phenomena. You still get lost in it. You still not see it. And that's like this when you experience something, there's like this inner voice, this inner commentator, and this feeling of like I'm seeing this, I'm experiencing this, like it happens to you, and I'm practicing, but actually that is also a phenomena, just like everything else, and this is like what you should become more aware of, like this phenomena of like I'm looking, I'm practicing, I'm doing this, and it happens to me, and these subtle kind of thoughts and commenting and analyzing, but it comes like from a self. But this is actually, the self doesn't exist. It's just another phenomena. So it's not comes from pure just knowing, like selfless knowing, like the element of knowing. There's like the I know, like you add the I on top of the knowing. There's knowing, yes, that's true, but it's not I knowing. There's just knowing. But like there's like then this mental phenomena, I know it, this identification. It's very normal for practitioners like to attach to that sense of self, like for people who have not yet seen the Dhamma breakthrough, had a breakthrough. So everything is like I'm practicing, I'm looking, I'm seeing this, I'm experiencing this, and it's not yet just like experiencing, seeing, and feeling. Yeah. So it's very easy to demonstrate. For example, now everybody's looking at Luangta when he's talking and listening. When Luangta is talking, even you can't understand it. Or when I'm talking, you look at me and listen to me. And your focus is outside, like at the voice, at the sight. But your focus is not inside at the commentator, which always like has a comment, I like this, I don't like this, I agree with that, I don't agree with that. And so your attention is not at this inner voice and try to let go, detach of that inner commentator, the one who knows everything better, the inside one, and who has like ideas infused to everything. And like you're not... like for normal people, the focus is always outside what you contact, but not like inside how you react to it, and that sense of self, where like commenting on things and this and that. So for a real practitioner, it goes like against the current, like not like outside, but where everything comes from and where this attachment lies, and let go of the attachment to that inner voice. Because this is what you attach to as me, mine, myself, and nobody attaches to what you see, or how say, you not say what you see, this is me, like I'm, for example, or my voice is me, but like the comment on what I'm saying or what you see, this is what you attach to and identify with, take ownership of, and this is actually where your attention should be. And this is the thing which you should let go and let be. But you can see for yourself where your attention is, whether it's outside and totally lost inside, or if you try to let go inside and detach. So this was now an explanation in more detail. So, and Luangta is pretty sure you have like a lot of questions or confusion, because this is some kind of new practice people are not used to. And so if you want to ask something, feel free to ask. So don't be shy, be brave to ask, and don't hold back. So if you have a question, use this opportunity and not just like keep it inside.
I'm Sonali. I am 29, and I just had a question for like maybe for young people who are more curious, that don't necessarily have a practice but have a curiosity. So yeah, I was born and raised by a Buddhist family, but you know, when you're told to practice certain things, it's you don't want to listen to that. But I'm finding that like now at this stage in my life, I'm a little bit more curious, and also opportunities like this are aligning more. So yeah, my question is, because of the nature of my work, I work on women's issues, and the reality of that is you see a lot of injustices towards women all the time, and that's the nature of my work. And many of the times the reason for that is either men, the patriarchy, or sometimes religion is used as a justification for oppression. So I had a very negative association with any religion, actually. So my first question is, how do I reconcile that now that I see that I have a natural alignment with following the teachings, but there is this past association because of the nature of my work and also my own lived experiences. And the second is just in general advice for if you are trying to develop a practice, how do you start, or where do you start? And is following your intuition maybe the best way? Yeah, that's my question.
So this is something very normal. Like usually people, they like to judge others, focus at others, observe others and find faults in them and have views and opinions what others do right and wrong and this and that. So the attention is always outside, and this is exactly what Luangta said, leads to suffering, leads to stress and tension, and not to well-being, not to ease and not to peace. It causes more and more problems. So the right way is, instead of observing what others do right or wrong and always your attention outside, try to notice your reactions towards contact, because we have constantly contact and there are constantly reactions going on. Like see the reactions towards the world, not like try to find fault in the world and others, but overlook yourself and then just like act impulsively on what is happening, what you see, hear, smell, touch, and feel, but like see the reactions towards the world. And a good tool to help you to not get lost and identify and get swept away by your actions is like to have a meditation object, like to have an anchor. For example, like a word which is very dear to you. It can be like Buddha or something which is meaningful to you, which gives you peace, and recite it in order like that you not go astray too much and lost in the world and lost in your usual conditioning and habits and in inclinations like to fight for others and police and have opinions and like always outside. So this is not the way to peace. You can observe it yourself. It's not peaceful. But peace is to be found inside, and you have to see directions. Like you have to not focus on what you contact, but your reactions towards contact. And in order to do that, a helpful tool is to have like a meditation object, like a focus point. So in the beginning, it's very useful. Like a little kid when they start to drive bicycle, they have like free wheels, and once they're not needed anymore, they can take it away and can freely ride. And so this is just in the beginning to, because it's something new. So at the beginning, nobody's good when he practices something new.